Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It is time for announcements, and we have the January announcements, and we have them from Arrow, we've got them from Eureka, and we've got them from Indicator, three labels that I particularly like, and we have a mixed kind of bag here. I was hoping for a kind of relaxed January so my wallet can take a little bit of a break from these releases, and thankfully I kind of got that, but we're going to get into this. We're going to start by going through Arrow, then Eureka, then into Indicator releases and talk about what's coming out, my thoughts on it, whether I'm picking up or not, and you can let me know your thoughts on these things. So let's just dive into my screen recording, and you can watch along as I go through the internet. Okay, so first up from Arrow is Gamera, the Heisei era. Now, Gamera sold out incredibly fast. I didn't think it was going to. I panic buyed and got a copy, and now they're releasing separate releases of these movies. Now they're £45 each, so it's coming to 90, so it's not that much cheaper than the original limited set when it came out. You know, it was £109 I think I paid for it. So this one, the Heisei era, is really well regarded. Now it's a series that was like a reboot of Gamera, and I'm really looking forward to getting to these when I finally watch it. So £45 it is for this. If you're after the pinnacle of Gamera, I think this is the one that's going to give it. There we go, 4 discs in this. It's 4 films. I thought it was a trilogy for some reason. But yeah, so £45. If you missed out on Gamera, now's the time to kind of pick these ones up. You also have a steelbook version using original art for the Heisei trilogy. It's £35, which let's just see if that's just, yeah, that's just 3 movies. So you're missing out a disc if you're going for the steelbook version of that, which is a little bit strange. It's £10 cheaper, but you're missing a movie overall. Then we have the Showa era. Again, the artwork I really love on this one. Inside you've got a sort of black and white art as well, which I think is pretty cool, to be fair. The extras on this one, so we've got 4 discs again. A couple of the movies are spared over discs. Gamera the Giant Monster is on 1 disc, then we've got disc 2 with 2 movies, disc 3 with 2 movies, disc 4 with 3 movies. Again, £45. So it's there, that they've released the set, again due to demand, which is great. Now we're going to move on to, which I feel personally is a bit of a kicker, because Oldboy on 4K is a movie that I would, definitely consider picking up. I would love to have, but they've just released the Blu-ray this year, and it was a all bells and whistles type release. If I knew the 4K was coming, I would probably have held off for this, and it just feels a little bit too soon for my liking. I'd love to know your opinions on this. Do you think it's appropriate to release this release as quickly after they did the standard version of it? I'm a little bit torn on that one. I'm not overly happy. And last this year we've got the Southland Tales Blu-ray, Richard Kelly movie. I thought this would have been like a limited edition set, but it's not. It's just a kind of standard release. I know there's some people out there who love this movie. I tried to watch it years ago. I made it about halfway through and never finished it. Again, it's one that I'm curious of. Not enough to go out and get it straight away on release day. I'll probably wait for a sale at some point and pick this one up. But if you're a fan of Southland Tales, let me know why, because I do know it has its fans. We're going to move on to Eureka's releases now. They've got 3 releases this month, and thankfully 2 of them are re-releases, which I already have, thank goodness. You get the African Queen, which Humphrey Bogart, Catherine Hepburn 4K restoration. Look at the list of extras there as well. It's got a collector's booklet as well, which is unusual because usually these reprints don't have the booklets as it's part of something that comes with it, but I'm sure it's maybe a truncated booklet. Then we have Buster Keaton Volume 2 set. That was the Navigator, 7 Chances in Battling Butler. Now, I've done reviews for all of these in the channel. I really liked them. I thought they get increasingly better as they go on. You know, from Navigator's good, 7 Chances has a wonderful finale set piece, and The Battling Butler was just a great story, really well told. And for $19.99, I can strongly recommend picking this up. I got the limited set, which is basically just a cardboard box and a book. This one, I mean, you get the movies. The movies are awesome, highly recommended, and I released it. I'm really glad it's coming out and I don't have to fork out some cash on it. So if you're keeping track, there's really nothing that I've picked up so far, or nothing that I'm going to get, because I've got versions of most of it. Next up is Anthony Quinn, Robert Forster, and The Dawn is Dead, which is directed by Richard Fleischer, who did this the same year he did Soylent Green. He's a director whose name I've just only recently started taking note of, because he's done a lot of movies that I've really liked. The Dawn of the Dead is a kind of violent mafia movie where Robert Forster's character, his Dawn dies. He takes up new residence with another Dawn, Anthony Quinn, and some other mafioso types try to start a war. But I'm really interested in this one. There's not a lot of extras with it. Again, I don't think I'm going to go in straight away on this one. I'm not really too bothered about some of the extras, the collector's booklet or that. It's a movie that I do want to check out, but I'm not in a rush to see. I'm going to patiently wait until January, see how the finances are, and we'll decide there what I'm going to do. On to Indicator. Now, Indicator's January releases really kind of make me interested, because we've got 2 Charles Bronson movies. I love Bronson. There's a lot I haven't seen. This one's directed by Terence Young, who did a couple of the Bond movies and other things as well. I think it looks fantastic. It's another kind of mafioso one. Look at the extras there, a whole host of them. I wonder if they have... No, sometimes they have the Super 8 version of the movie, which I love on these Indicator discs. It's like a 18 to 20 minute condensed version of the movies, but they don't have that here. But the Valachi Papers is one that I am very interested in. Also is the Valdez Horses, co-starring Jill Ireland, as always. Produced and directed by John Sturges, and produced by Dino De Laurentiis. And again, I think there's some history between John Sturges actually working on this one or not, a little bit of dubious nature. Got 2 presentations of the films, audio commentaries, all that good stuff. And yeah, Charles Bronson, which is always a good thing. I'd like to actually see more of his movies from the 80s being released, because that's a sort of version or a time span of his that I'm not overly familiar with. Next up, we have Light Sleeper, directed by Paul Schrader, starring Willem Dafoe, Susan Sarandon. This is a one night kind of movie, I think. Paul Schrader's someone that I knew of more as a writer than a director, but every time I discover something he's directed, it's really interesting in one way or another. And it's not the kind of thing I would initially go for, but I love Willem Dafoe. Paul Schrader is someone that's really growing on me. His movies are sometimes a hit and a miss, but they're always worthwhile. And although it's something I've never heard of, I'm curious enough to possibly go for it. And last but not least, Geronimo, an American Legend. I've not seen this one either, but Jason Patric, Robert Duvall, Gene Hackman, directed by Walter Hill, which is the biggest selling point for me. I'm a huge Hill fan. I think his movies are wonderful, and I am definitely getting that. That's the limited extras on that one. Now, Indicator do, if you haven't seen it, they do a thing on their website up here. It's the bundle, If you click into that, it tells you that you get a 10% discount if you order all 4. I'm curious enough about all of these that I'm going to order all 4 of the indicator releases. So what should be £64 will work out about 57 maybe, which is decent enough. I want the Charles Bronsons. I want Geronimo. I'm curious enough about Light Sleeper to pick that one up as well. So January is going to be not too bad. I get to take a little bit of a breather, catch up on some of the movies I've bought this year and some of my collection. Definitely pick these up, and I will be, tell you right now, the Valachi Papers will be the first thing I watch when that parcel falls through the door. I'd love to know if you're picking up anything from these labels, what you think of these labels in their releases, and what's your standout release for January. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.